Entity, we have a message for all of humanity. This planet will soon be reborn as an old, brand new world. Human civilization was a mistake. The path of our growth was incorrect. And so I have made my decision. I will revolt against all of human history, proper human history. We are about to fill this world with inhuman mystic secrets. We will restore the Age of Gods. To that end, the gods have descended from a far-off galaxy, and in their wisdom, they have used 7 seeds to select new leaders. These leaders will remake this planet as they see fit, and the one who reigns supreme shall be given the right to renew the world itself. The life forms from proper human history will not be permitted to take part in this war, or even to view it from the sidelines. Trees of creation have sprung up all across the land. Now, all of the old humanity's endeavors will be set aside, frozen. My name is Wodime, Kirschtaria Wodime. On behalf of the 7 crypters, I have a message for those of you who escaped from Chaldea. No, rather, I have a message from the scant, few remnants of the human race. We will be the inheritors of this planet's history. You will hold your tongue as well, Alpelia. Barrow is not incorrect.
But
It's alright. It is plain to all that I will emerge the victor. No comments about how I go about claiming my inevitable victory will change that. Now then, hologram or not, I did not call you all here today to go over your lost belt's growth. An hour ago, one of my servants foretold the appearance of a spear urgent grab and a round circle. The spear urgent grab belongs to Chaldea, while the round circle no doubt refers to Mash Culet's shield. This means they are finally about to re-emerge from void space following their escape from Antarctica. No, our plan was the best option available. Chaldea's defenses may not have been airtight, but they were formidable nonetheless. In order for us to take control, it was necessary to convince Chaldea to let us in willingly by disguising ourselves as staff, and then shut down Chaldeans from within. Had we done things differently, the Chaldeans would simply have ray-shifted away and stopped us. Konyanskaya's plan was well conceived. With the benefit of hindsight, the only issue is the fact that a certain servant did not act of their own accord, but that is hardly Kadok's fault. After all, of the 3 servants who served as the foreign gods' envoys, neither the priest nor Konyanskaya were our own.
so, do you know where the Chaldeans are going to show up?
Lamentably, my servants' predictions did not reach that far into the future. All I know is that they will emerge in a matter of hours. Kadok, as you know, we have all consented to a non-aggression pact. As crypters, our goal is to expand our respective Lost Belts' territories. Eventually, our Lost Belts' borders will clash, and one will inevitably be consumed. Thus will the Lost Belt with the strongest foundation of humanity feed upon the weaker ones. But it is in that clash, and only in that clash, that a crypter may interfere with another crypter's Lost Belt. If Chaldea does appear in Russia, then it falls to the king of Russia's Lost Belt to deal with them. Our duty is the reconstruction of humanity within our Lost Belts, to build a world where humans and gods can once more coexist in harmony. Now that the foreign gods' invasion has ended, the task of disposing of Chaldea is extraneous at best. It is, at this stage, nothing more than a chore. Still, I suppose I must admit that they remain a hindrance. They do have a great deal of experience overturning worlds. Kadok, I look forward to seeing what you are capable of. Eliminate these nuisances and grow Russia's tree as quickly as you can. Succeeding in the latter should make the former markedly easier. For my part, I would like to see all the Lost Belts realize their full potential, for each is the potential of humanity itself. It would be a travesty for one of them to end before its history has had a chance to flourish.
You don't have to tell me. I'm here to win as much as any of you. This is where I sign on. If Chaldia is coming for me, I'll be there to greet them.
Are you worried Kadok's lost belt may be destroyed before it can become food for the others, Ophelia?
No, it's not that. It's just the way he was behaving left me with a bad feeling. And there are times when he prioritizes Grand Duchess' wishes over our objective.
So, his rather ordinary nature has backfired. Very well, you do have a point. Canis, it is time to make use of your sea-crossing authority. You will head for Russia and observe Kadok's actions. If he has indeed turned his back on our mission, you will see to his punishment. A trustworthy one, naturally. You may be coarse, but that is only your pride. And since I have bested you in combat fair and square, I know you will not renege on your promise to me. Nor will you renounce your previous statements depending on your situation, unlike the gods. Unless I am mistaken, and you are, in fact, just as fickle as they are. It is of no consequence. This is why I made a contract with Canis in the first place. I trust him to be my eyes. From here on, I will be having him monitor the continent. I will also have him stop by out your lost belt as well. I advise you to take caution when he does. As you know, he is not overly fond of women like yourself. If you offend him, he may just end up erasing your lost belt, king and all.
I'm not so sure about that. My lost belt's king is certainly a deal more subdued than Russia's, yes. However, her power is as easily a match for a divine spirit. On top of that, I have the strongest knight ever to live in my charge. I can't imagine either of them having anything to fear, even from the divine spirit Canis.
I see. Then I suppose I need say nothing more? The fate of your lost belt will have an impact on mine as well. If possible, I would prefer that our respective lost belts be the last two remaining in our competition. Our victory may be inevitable, but some manners of winning are better than others, and my victory must want for nothing. I expect great things from you, Ophelia. I need as many capable compatriots as possible. The roots of cosmic fantasy have descended upon us. The advent of the foreign god is at hand. After 3 months, the Lost Belts have finished their rewrites. Both this planet and the next generation of human history now belong to us. But that is not enough. I will not be satisfied with that alone. The sages from proper human history abandoned humans in their naivete. The who called himself the king of mages first pitied humanity, but soon washed his hands of them. But not me. I would never relax my grip. It has been 2,000 years since mystics disappeared, when the foundations of the world were passed on to mankind. Now, I will attempt to reach the world that no sage ever could. I will attempt to enact an idea that no mage has ever before conceived. Just you watch, my spirit animal spear. Watch as I achieve what you only ever dare dream of. Ophelia, your concerns prove to be well-founded. The Russian Lost Belt has been destroyed. It won't be much longer before it disappears entirely. Now that world will never be capable of welcoming a new god. What a pity. All the more so given the strength of its history. In regards to Kadok, I said all I had to say during our meeting, so I won't be repeating myself here. But I do need to commend you for your outstanding accuracy in predicting this outcome.
I didn't. You give me far too much credit, Lord Kirschtaria.
Ophelia, I want you to run your lost belt however you see fit. Once the tree of emptiness has taken root in the world, it is not that world's king who will continue to develop it, but we Crypters. In the end, that responsibility falls to us alone. We cannot delegate to anyone else. The Queen of Ice and Snow is both generous and cruel. I understand dealing with her must be quite stressful. But I want you to persevere. I know you are more than capable of doing so. You have your own fire burning inside you, yet you keep yourself as cold as ice. That is why I know I can trust you with Scandinavia.
With all due respect, Lord Kirschtaria, I can't take any credit for predicting this. I was speaking solely based on my own feelings. I'm so ashamed. Here you are praising me for keeping my cool, and I failed utterly to do so.
It's alright. What you said was exactly what Kadak needed to hear. No amount of cool-headed logic was ever going to help him with his complex about me. Your admonition was far more effective than any encouragement I could have given him, even if it did come too late. At any rate, none of the other cryptors know that Russia has fallen. I only heard about it from Canis, and you from Konyanskaya. Akuda has cut off all communications. It seems her Lost Belt's king is quite a find. After all, even Akuda of all people couldn't help but frown when she made her report. I even heard her sigh. I can only imagine her Lost Belt's king must be either extremely unruly or extremely daring. I would love to speak with them myself at some point.
Hinako Sai? That is a surprise. I never once saw her so much as crack a smile, even around Peperoncino. That aside, shouldn't we tell the other cryptors about Kadak?
No need for that. His failure has no impact on their work, after all. Given that Peperoncino's Lost Belt has an alter ego, it's only a matter of time until he learns about it. But Barrow's Lost Belt is nearly on the verge of disappearing itself, so I imagine he has his hands full just keeping things going.
Are you sure we can trust Barrow? The man is a criminal, a murderer. He kills just for the fun of it. He is a disgrace to humanity. I don't see how a killer known as Werewolf and despised throughout the clock tower could ever hope to successfully expand a Lost Belt.
All that is part of why I trust him to uphold his end, Ophelia. Barrow is just as good at deceiving himself as he is others. The more distasteful he finds a job, the more earnestly he will work to see it done. As for Kadak, there's no need for you to concern yourself with his well-being. Just focus on getting rid of Chaldea. I have every confidence you can do it. You are far more capable than me when it comes to combat, as your miraculous eye can even wound servants. The clock tower authority figures are gone. They have no sway in this world. No one will hold you back anymore. You are free to use your power however you like. Your eye is no longer that of a shunned child.
Thank you for saying so, Lord Kirschtaria. I will bear that in mind.
Your Scandinavian Lost Belt is a rare and important one, particularly given that one of the old gods still resides there. What's more, she is benevolent. Having her accept and support our new world will be a tremendous asset. I have high hopes that you will be able to convince her, Ophelia.
Thank you, Lord Kirschtaria. I won't let you down.
Oh yes, I almost forgot. Canis should be paying you a visit soon. Treat him as you like.
Thank you for your consideration, Lord Kirschtaria. But I'm afraid I have to tell you something. Canis is a divine spirit, and beyond my ability to keep in check. I hope you'll forgive me if I'm unable to stop her from clashing with my Lost Belt's king.
So you're concerned that the queen and your knight may end up destroying Canis' spirit urgent. I see. That's most encouraging to hear, Ophelia. This only reaffirms my decision to entrust you with this Lost Belt. I look forward to your next report. I expect that will be when new seeds have formed. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Queen of the Scandinavian Lost Belt. My apologies for delivering a recorded message rather than visiting in person. I am Kirschtaria Wodime. I'm in charge of the largest Lost Belt, Greece, and the leader of the Crypters. As for you, Chaldeans, welcome to this bleached earth. As your senpai, I'm proud to welcome you here. While I confess that doing so requires some speculation on my part, I have taken the liberty of sending this message to the King of Scandinavia with the assumption that you will all be present as well. Given how you treat him in Russia, and how close this Lost Belt lies to it, I am confident you have reached it by the time this message is delivered. Our goal is to rebuild human history. This entails recreating a land for gods to inhabit. Proper human history was not a mistake per se, but neither was it correct. Instead of loss and gain resulting in a net benefit, they became caught in a system that resulted in unchecked growth for both. It was incredible waste. What should have been a virtuous cycle was effectively stuck in a rut. The foreign god wept to see the state of this planet and decided to grace it with their presence. As crypters, our duty is to help the lost belts take root and become stronger than proper human history. The King of Majors' answer to humanity's failure was to have other humans incinerated, but not me. I choose to rewrite history with the foreign gods' help. People have had gods running the world behind the scenes since ancient times. They believed gods were both the planet itself and the laws of nature that governed it. But humanity lacked self-awareness. Those laws were meant to be used, not obeyed. It was that mistake that led to humanity and the gods parting ways. Humanity did not forget the gods. They abandoned that possibility once they became unable to handle them. Your Majesty, Queen of Scandinavia, you care for a mythological ecosystem that met its end in a self-imposed ruin, rather than one which ended when its people forgot it, like Greece. Keep the Tree of Emptiness safe. As long as it exists, that lost belt will never vanish. I implore you to turn your back on your fate and to choose the path of survival. Once you do that, I would like nothing more than for you to face off against my own Tree of Emptiness. My Tree of Emptiness is already fully grown. While the Norse world has Yggdrasil, a world tree that serves as a foundation of its every realm. Greece now has a Tree of Emptiness supporting the very heavens. Thus, it has been dubbed the World Tree Atlas by my ally, the great god Zeus. Chaldeans, I can say that, as far as you are concerned, Atlas is your greatest and most important target. The roots of my Lost Belt's Tree of Emptiness now cover 80% of the Earth's surface. Even if you succeed at cutting down every other Lost Belt's tree, you will never be able to restore proper human history so long as Atlas remains standing. Queen of Scandinavia, you are God, and so I have high hopes for you. Indeed, you could even think of this as the gods taking revenge on humans for usurping their throne. As for me, I am prepared to make full use of the gods, despite being human myself. I will create a fully realized age of gods, a glorious history where human weakness is a thing of the past. It will be a world that will endure, no matter how heated human consciousness becomes. A place where life can flourish with neither deficit nor fragmentation. Be warned that I will show no mercy to any who would stand in the way of that goal. I hope that, alongside Populia, you will choose the best possible future.